The Legacy format consists of all 30 years of Magic the Gathering's history. That's a lot of decks, and last I counted, over 25,000 Magic cards. So you can imagine it takes something pretty special to break through in terms of card design to even see play, not to mention spawn a brand new deck archetype. Hello and welcome to Eternal Durdles. I'm your host, Zach Clark. Every Monday, my co-host Phil Bleckman and I do a Legacy podcast that covers all of the news and goings on in the format. You can subscribe right down below, and if you're new to the format, that's great. This is the perfect place to start. You're in the right spot. Urza's Saga is one of those rare cards that not only managed to break through, but also spawned an entirely new deck archetype that rose to the top tiers, where Delver and its friends have dominated for over a decade. That's impressive, especially when you take into account the ubiquitousness of this card and the fact that it sees as much play as it does without the community calling for widespread bannings. Plenty of cards have come and gone, but today, Urza's Saga sits proudly amongst many of the other all-stars of the format as a staple. Urza's Saga is an enchantment land saga that starts with the modest ability of first lore counter, tap for 1 colorless mana. On the second lore counter is where things start to get interesting. 2, tap Urza's Saga and create a construct artifact creature token whose power and toughness is equal to the number of artifacts in play. Then the third lore counter ties the whole room together, allowing you to search your deck to find a 0 or 1 mana artifact and put it directly into play. Not cast for free, put directly into play. That is absolutely bonkers. A lot of Magic the Gathering players look at this card and think, big whoop, you get a construct and an artifact. What's the big deal? You're losing a land. And to that, I say, you obviously have never been on the receiving end of the clinic that Urza's Saga decks can put on display. Hold on, we need to remember just a couple of things here. 1, Saga's trigger during your main phase. That means you have plenty of time to activate the second lore counter ability, not just one time, but twice, because it doesn't happen until your main phase. So you're gonna get your full upkeep and draw step to determine whether or not you want to put on another construct. That's super powerful, and you don't really see it when you're just looking at this card from a sort of macro view. 2, there are some very potent 0 and 1 mana artifacts out there. And as the game continues to grow and cards get printed, this card will just get more and more powerful as time goes on. Let's look at a 3-turn sequence with my deck of choice, 8 cast. Your opener is pretty stacked. Turn 1, play Urza's Saga, and we can see that we are going to be able to activate it successfully next turn. So let's prioritize that avenue in our game plan. Next, we'll play Moxfield, Urza's Bauble, Mishra's Bauble, and a Lotus Petal. We pass the turn with Ancient Tomb and Kappa Cannoneer in hand. If things go south, we have our Baubles to draw into more action. On turn 2, you draw Thoughtcast, so things are looking kind of amazing. Let's play Ancient Tomb, activate our Urza's Saga for a construct, looks like it's a 5/5 right now. Tap Moxfield for a Thoughtcast, draw, and a Force of Will. Pass turn, with quite a board presence and Force of Will backup. Turn 3 is going to be insane. Untap, upkeep, we draw Thought Monitor. Let's put the trigger for the Saga counter on the stack and activate it one more time. Can you believe this is legal? Okay, it's a 6/6. We're going to sacrifice the Saga, get Shadow Spear, equip that to the old construct, attack for 7, and gain 7. Tap the Moxfield for blue, the Shadow Spear, the Lotus Petal, the Urza's Bauble, the Mishra's Bauble, and the new construct, improvise to cast Kappa Cannoneer. Don't forget it sees itself interplay, and there's a +1/+1 counter just for that. So we pass on turn 3, threatening lethal on turn 4, with Force of Will to protect us. Good God, this deck is so good, and say it with me, 0 reserve list cards. We've shown just how strong the construct mode of Urza's Saga is, but let's not sleep on that 3 mode, where you can go get an artifact. Look at decks like Painter, where you can just immediately put 1/2 of your combo, the Grindstone, directly into play, without even casting it. This simple interaction took a C to D tier deck and rocketed it to the top tables, right along the likes of Delver. And it's a real menace if you're not prepared for it. Okay, so we get it, Urza's Saga is good, but it's extremely good with our pal from the previous segment, Ancient Tomb. Now, at the time of recording, Ancient Tomb is pretty expensive. and it will set you back a bit. But keep in mind, it's not on the reserve list, so that means that it can be reprinted, which is huge because if you look at a set like Commander Masters, that's a very likely target for reprints, and that means the price is going to drop back down, which means it's a great time to pick that deck up once that happens. But in the meantime, this deck is relatively inexpensive in comparison to other Legacy decks. Looking at Blue-Red Delver or Show and Tell, all these decks that have to play dual lands, you get away with this deck by not having to play dual lands, which is pretty amazing if you look at the total price point of Legacy nowadays, especially if you want to contend at the top tables, and these cards do that. The one thing I always tell people about Legacy, especially when collecting, is that it's a marathon, not a race. If you take your time and wait till cards drop in price, which happens whenever there is a reprint, you can pick up decks on the cheap. It's also a great way to grow your collection without emptying your bank account. So that's Urza Saga. If you found anything in this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. That helps out a ton. And please remember, every Monday, Phil and I do a Legacy podcast. And you can check out all the news that's going on with Legacy every week with us. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.